Welcome to our TOEFL writing practice session focused on the integrated writing task. Today, we'll explore the format, review a sample task, and discuss a suggested approach to help you excel in this section. Let's start by understanding the format of the integrated writing task. This section begins with a reading passage. You'll have 3 minutes to read a passage that's typically around 250 to 300 words long. The passage presents a specific viewpoint or argument on a given topic. Next, you'll listen to a lecture that usually lasts about 2 to 3 minutes. The lecture will often challenge or offer a different perspective on the points made in the reading passage. After the lecture, you'll have 20 minutes to write an essay that compares and integrates the information from both sources. Your main goal will be to summarize the key points made in the lecture and explain how they relate to the reading passage. Here's an example of a reading passage you might encounter. The passage discusses the impact of electronic books or ebooks on traditional publishing. It presents 3 main arguments in favor of ebooks. Can you identify them? After reading the passage, you would listen to a lecture that challenges these points. The key here is to take notes on how the lecture responds to the reading passage. Here's a sample lecture. As you listen, take notes on what it says on each point you identified in the reading. Pay attention to the main claim and supporting details it gives. Now listen to the lecture.
While ebooks do offer some advantages, they also bring several drawbacks that could have negative consequences for both the publishing industry and readers alike. First, the environmental impact of ebooks is not as clear-cut as some may believe. Yes, ebooks don't require paper, ink, or physical distribution, but the production of e-readers and other electronic devices used to read ebooks is resource-intensive. The manufacturing process involves the extraction of raw materials such as rare earth metals, which are often mined in environmentally damaging ways. Furthermore, the energy consumed in the production and distribution of these devices is substantial. And unlike traditional books that can last for decades, electronic devices have a much shorter lifespan, often needing to be replaced every few years. This leads to significant amounts of electronic waste, which is difficult and expensive to recycle, creating additional environmental issues that are often overlooked. Second, although ebooks are certainly convenient, they can lead to significant limitations regarding ownership and sharing due to digital rights management, or DRM. DRM systems are designed to protect copyright, but they also restrict how readers can use the ebooks they purchase. For example, a reader who buys a traditional print book can lend it to a friend, resell it, or donate it to a library. In contrast, DRM often prevents ebooks from being shared in this way. This limits the freedom that readers have with their purchased content, reducing the flexibility and communal benefits associated with physical books. In some cases, DRM can even restrict access to a book after a certain period, effectively making it a temporary rental rather than a permanent purchase. Lastly, while the ease of self-publishing through ebooks does indeed empower authors, it has also led to the market becoming oversaturated with low-quality content. Traditional publishers typically provide services such as editing, design, and marketing, which help ensure that only well-crafted books reach the market. However, in the self-publishing world, many authors skip these essential steps, leading to a flood of poorly written or unprofessional works. As a result, readers may find it increasingly difficult to identify high-quality literature. This overwhelming volume of available content can dilute the overall quality of books in the market, making it challenging for truly exceptional works to stand out. In summary, while ebooks present certain advantages, the potential drawbacks related to environmental impact, digital restrictions, and market quality should not be overlooked.
Following the lecture, you'll be asked a question. And remember, this is not about giving your opinion. Your focus should be on accurately comparing the two sources of information. Take a look at this sample question. The recommended word count of your response is 150 to 225 words. However, you should mainly focus on clarity and accuracy rather than hitting a specific word count. Remember, quality matters more than quantity. Now, here are a few tips on how to approach the TOEFL Integrated Writing Task. Let's break down the steps you should follow and then look at a model answer to see how everything comes together. When you read the passage, take notes on the key points. Focus on the main arguments, not the minor details. Next, when listening to the lecture, note how it responds to the points in the reading. Usually, the lecture will challenge or provide additional information about the reading's arguments. These notes will be crucial when writing your response. Now let's talk about the organization and structure of your response. Before you start writing, spend a minute or two planning your essay. A good structure is essential. Here's a simple outline. Start by briefly introducing the topic and stating that the lecture offers a different perspective. In your main body paragraphs, ensure you're making clear connections between the reading and the lecture. For each key point in the reading, summarize it and then explain how the lecture responds to it. Finally, you don't need a long conclusion, just a sentence or two summarizing the relationship between the reading and the lecture. Notice the structure applied in the model answer. The introduction sets up the contrast between the reading and the lecture. Each body paragraph is structured around a specific point from the reading, with the corresponding counterpoint from the lecture. Each paragraph starts by summarizing a point from the reading and then immediately explains how the lecture responds to that point. This ensures that the essay is well organized and easy to follow. Finally, the conclusion briefly summarizes the overall relationship between the two sources. Cohesion and coherence. Cohesion and coherence are concepts that refer to the clarity and logical flow of a text, making it easier for the reader to understand and follow the writer's ideas. In this model answer, you will observe how the writer effectively employs transitional phrases such as "the lecture, however," and "in contrast," to highlight the connections and differences between the two sources. After writing, take a few minutes to review your essay. Check for clarity, coherence, and any grammatical errors. Make sure your points are clearly connected and that you've accurately represented the relationship between the reading and the lecture. The model answer we've looked at is a great example of how to do this. It's clear, well organized, and directly addresses the task. To wrap up, remember that success in the TOEFL Integrated Writing Task comes from understanding the task, taking effective notes, planning your response, and then writing a clear, well-organized essay. With practice, you'll become more comfortable with this process and improve your performance on test day. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your TOEFL preparation.